Pediatric researchers gave it a real clinical name, container baby syndrome. It describes what happens when a baby spends hours a day in car seats, swings, bouncers, and strollers instead of being held. The average Western baby spends over 5 hours a day in some kind of container. Japan has almost no word for this because it almost never happens. Sodhar found out why and what it's actually doing to development. Here's how an average Western day looks for a baby. Car seat to the store, bouncer while mom cooks, swing while dad works from home, stroller for the walk, high chair for meals, crib for naps. Each transfer makes sense on its own. Parents are juggling real responsibilities, but stacked together, that's hours spent in containers, often with very little body contact day after day for months. Now picture a typical Japanese day for a baby the same age. The mother is doing the exact same tasks, cooking, shopping, working, but the baby is on her body the entire time in a sling or carrier. Container time is nearly zero. Same busy day, same responsibilities, completely different physical experience for the baby underneath all of it. Japanese mothers carry their Barbies almost everywhere, by sling, by carrier, on bicycles, even while skiing. This isn't occasional. It's the default mode of moving through a day. Researchers measured the actual time difference. Japanese mothers spend just 2 hours per week physically away from their baby in early months, versus roughly 24 hours per week for American mothers. Flonnect, that gap shows up specifically in container time. Pediatric physical therapists have raised real concerns about extended container time, flattened heads from prolonged back-lying, delayed core strength development, and reduced opportunities for the kind of full-body sensory input that Barbies get from being carried against a moving adult body. None of this means every container is dangerous. It means the accumulated hours matter more than most parents realize. So here's exactly what to do without overhauling your entire routine. Pick your highest container time activity of the day. For most parents, it's cooking or working at a desk, and swap it for baby-wearing instead. One activity, not all of them. Get a simple wrap or soft structured carrier and use it specifically during that one task. You'll still get your hands free for cooking or typing. The baby gets the movement, warmth, and proximity that a bouncer simply cannot replicate. Track it for 1 week. That's the entire technique, not eliminating containers, just replacing your single biggest one. Here's why this specific swap matters more than others. Baby-wearing during an active task, walking, cooking, light movement, gives the baby vestibular input, the sense of motion and balance, which a stationary container cannot provide at all. Research comparing Japanese and Scottish infants found Japanese mothers maintained physical contact with infants even as they fell asleep and responded to crying immediately upon waking, described as stronger infant-centeredness. Movement plus contact plus immediate responsiveness is a combination no container, however well-designed, replicates. The obvious worry is independence. If a baby is rarely set down, will they ever learn to be alone, to self-soothe, to function without constant contact? Japanese children answer this question by walking to school alone by around age 6. The high-contact early years do not appear to produce permanently dependent children. If anything, the data suggests the opposite pattern. A few practical notes for trying this. Front carry works for newborns. Once a baby has good neck control, a hip or back carry frees up more of your body for active tasks. You do not need an expensive carrier. A simple sling is what Japanese mothers have traditionally used. Start with 15 to 20 minutes during your most container-heavy task and notice how your baby responds. Most settle faster against a moving body than in a stationary seat. This connects to something larger about how Japan thinks about a baby's first year. Japanese parenting is classified by researchers as a facilitator style, relying on emotional connection rather than control, with mothers following the infant's natural rhythm rather than directing it. Flonnect, a container by its nature, puts the baby on the adult's schedule, strapped in until the task is done. Baby-wearing puts the adult's task around the baby's actual state, calm, fussy, sleepy, adjusting as it happens. You don't have to choose between getting things done and holding your baby all day. The Japanese model proves you can do both simultaneously. The baby just needs to be on your body while you do it, not set aside in a container until you're free. So here's what Sodhar wants you to remember. Container baby syndrome isn't about being a bad parent. Every container exists because parents genuinely need their hands free sometimes. The Japanese answer was never put your baby down. It was carry them while you work instead of setting them aside until you're done. Pick your biggest container hour today. Try wearing your baby through it instead. That's the entire secret, same tasks, same busy day, just done together instead of apart. Comment below what's your biggest container hour of the day. I read every single comment. Cherry Blossom,